Right, so guys, welcome back. This is Lock-In episode 2. Sam, this is technically your podcast, which I'm running over. I'm running in and taking over for the Lock-In. And this week, we have SilverFox, who is one of the commentators that was at TAKEDOWN out in Pakistan. Correct me if I'm wrong there.
No,
about
absolutely.
geography. Cool. So SilverFox, what's good? How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty great. Thank you so much. And yeah, you know what? We just had a major event happen here in Pakistan, and this was a very special thing for us because we never had an event of this scale, of this caliber happen before. I know that for a lot of people, coming in from outside, it was a huge thing. For us being in Pakistan, that was a huge thing as well, because this was sort of like it was like a grand event that none of us actually thought would actually come to pass, but it did, and it was just amazing. It was like it would probably be one of those major events that Sam's been to like all over the year for the Tekken World Tour. And to have it happen in Pakistan is like a huge thing for us. Like everyone I know over there never saw an event of this caliber.
No, I was gonna say, like, when I first heard about this event, it was crazy to go, hey, here's 2 million Pakistani rupees. We're going to invite some of the top players, and the one thing that really threw me when this event started was that it's not a Masters event; it's just a dojo event. And at the same time, there was an event out in the States, which was a Masters event.
Bolivia.
Oh, sorry, Bolivia. Sorry,
yeah.
Bolivia.
South America.
Yeah, South America, Bolivia, and that was a Masters event. And shout out to those guys. Like it was Sergey Master who won.
Yes.
Who got the points. But a lot of the rest of the strong players for Tekken came through to TAKEDOWN 2023. And it was crazy. Like the pictures, Spag, Steve, Rip, yourself, Sam, posted up. Looked amazing. I do want to go one day and see this event.
Yeah.
But talk to me. How was travel? So SilverFox first. Like Sam, I know where you fly from. Like you're from Ireland. Whatever. That's just you can tell me about that trip shortly. But SilverFox, like talk to me. How was your flight to Pakistan?
Well, since I actually live in Pakistan and in the city that it was hosted in, right? So I think that the flight was pretty good, considering that I didn't have to take one.
Oh, even better.
So, but it was actually a really good thing, because the fact that it was in my hometown. That made it a really amazing thing. Now, I knew about this tournament for like the past 6 months, 6 months to I think it was last November where I got in touch with Daniel, the CEO, the organizer for the event. So he reached out to me on Twitter. He wanted to be able to say that, I want to get in touch with the community over here. I wanted to be able to organize something. I wanted to get in touch with you and talk about some stuff that I have in mind. And I was like, sure. Let's invite my buddy over here, Soul Dragger, who was my co-commentator at the event. So I was like, let's the three of us sit down in a coffee shop, have a good talk, and let's see what this is all about. So that's when the idea for what the grand plan entirely was that to be able to host a major tournament happening in Pakistan for a one of a kind of its own. And, I really liked the idea. I really liked what the sort of vibe was going for. And along with that, there was this idea of, having a documentary be created that sort of highlighted the Pakistani scene. Now, the documentary part I'll come to in a little bit later. But over the next couple of months, what we basically were doing was we were taking both projects in parallel. And the tournament was being given precedent because obviously that was sort of like a first of its kind of thing. And the second thing was that, it was going to come in first. It was going to lay the groundwork for everything that came forward. So over the next couple of months, that's exactly what was going on. I heard from Danielle that we're trying to get a lot of players in, and it was really great to be able to hear that, we had people from the UK come in, we had people from Korea come in, from the Philippines. From what I remember, the original lineup was basically we had Joka, we had Gosane, we had KoFXV. Unfortunately, KoFXV was not able to make it, which is why we had to swap it out at the last minute with Seffi. Yes, Seffi Black. Yeah. So those were from the EU. From the Korean side, I believe, from what I've heard, is that we first tried to contact Nee and Chanel, but they had previous engagements, which was why they couldn't make it. So the next best option would be to be able to have Ulsan and CBM over there. Now, both of them amazing players, and it was really nice to be able to hear that they graciously accepted our invite. And then from the Philippines, we had AK and we had Dojin come in, and those two were amazing as well because both of them are well-renowned players in their own right, and to have them for the first time visit Pakistan, all these guys visit Pakistan for the first time, was a real great honor. And then we also hear that, all right, you know what? We're also extending it to the commentators. Sam's coming in. Sam was, I believe, one of the first ones that I got in touch with.
Top of the list, baby. Top of the list, baby.
First on the list, Hollywood.
Yes, I remember Sam was like one of the first ones that I knew that was coming for sure. And funny thing was that we got in touch with each other on Twitter before we went through like any official channel. So that was a really great thing to have. I'd seen Sam on the circuit, and it was a real pleasure to, like actually talk to him, to interact with him before the tournament proper. And, that was really great to hear. And then when I start hearing that, we're getting Rip in, and I'm like, oh my God, Rip? That's amazing, dude. I mean, like, Rip has never traveled to Pakistan before, and he's always had this ambition to be able to do that. And having Rip is like, a huge deal. And then later on, I find out Tasty Steve's coming in, and I'm like, all right, this is huge. If Rip and Steve are coming in, then this is not your, your average event. This is not your garden variety event. This is something that has Tekken, like master level of appeal for the world tour.
Yeah.
And so the way that it transpired was that, we really did want it to be like a major event, maybe a master event. But the problem with that is basically, I believe is that the Tekken World Tour, master events are only going to happen if there's some sort of like legacy sort of like tied to it. It can't be like a first time happening sort of event. Bandai Namco maybe has to have some sort of confidence in your event, in your organization structure.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, for them, it's a risk that they have to take. And it's better to have like, a new tournament come in for the dojo, instead of coming in for something like a challenger or for a master, which gives it a lot more prestige. Because even they didn't know, the scale of the entire thing. But lo and behold, even though we had the dojo event, it was like as big as a master event over here.
It was crazy to watch, and seeing the cameras floating around the venue. You wouldn't believe it was a dojo event. Like 517 players for Tekken.
Like that's ridiculous. If you think
it's
like
the biggest, it definitely hit the biggest dojo bracket before going into challenges and masters.
Yeah.
And I was saying in Discord to a few guys, like, this is definitely going to be a masters next year. I'm sure the reason was it's a brand new event. People aren't going to take a risk. And they would have to basically do this first to show they've got the gazump or the oomph behind it before turning into a masters. Teething issues always going to be there. Every event has teething issues, new or old. And what I saw, you had some issues first day with streaming. That was quickly resolved, right? And second day, top 8 and top 16, brilliant to watch, amazing. My only hot take, I guess, comment on the whole thing was that pumping in-house commentary, the mics picked it up as well, and so you heard the echo. But it's a learning issue, teaming issue, like I said. It didn't take away from the fact of great games and great commentary. Not to say Sam does good commentary at all, because he doesn't.
Top of the list, baby. Still top, baby. Number one. Don't ever. I'm number one. No. Yeah. I mean, it was such a wild experience for me, like to actually go over there and like, everybody has been hearing about Pakistan Tekken for the last 4-5 years now. It was all just rumors, and now it's like a real thing. So to actually go over there and see it, and we ended up at Maniacs Arcade as well, where Arslan and like basically all the big boys started out playing Tekken and kind of developing this like competitive edge enough to win world championships.
Win Evos and whatnot.
Yeah,
be Tekken World Tour champions.
We ended up going down there, but like, I mean, the event, like, I know we're talking about the event, and it is like it was a absolutely incredible spectacle, but the country is mad, dude. The people are crazy. Like, they're super friendly all of the time. Like everybody was just like, hey, what do you need? What can I get for you? And you're like, no, I'm fine. It's all, do you need anything? Because I'm about to go and get anything for you. Like, I was like, Jesus.
Are they just you, Sam? Just dialed up to 11? Like, a country of you. Because you are one of the nicest guys at an event.
Oh, damn.
Oh, yeah.
I'll actually
hands
say
down.
that.
Top of the list, baby.
Top of the list. One, baby. Let's go. Nicest. Not nice guy. Nicest. Let's go, dude. Give me a medal.
No, I'm never giving you a medal. But yeah, no, I've heard great things. I do want to visit the country, on my list. But yeah, all right, Sam, how was your travel? Because it's a bit of a journey from Ireland to Pakistan. Did you have to do a transfer?
Yeah, so I changed in Abu Dhabi. I went over.
Okay.
I think it was only like 4 hours from Dublin to Abu Dhabi, and then it was. Oh no, sorry, that's a lie. It was like 7 or 8 hours to Abu Dhabi, and then 4 hours to Pakistan, from Abu Dhabi.
No issues.
Totally fine. I mean, shout outs to the airlines. Everything was running super smoothly. It's the thing when you don't fly budget airlines, like everything tends to run just a little bit nicer, like, you know.
Yeah. They pay some attention to you.
Absolutely, like, you know, you board in separate groups and stuff. It's not just everybody run at the door unless you paid the double your price for the priority boarding, like, you know.
Yeah. Exactly.
But it's actually so funny we're talking about airlines, because right now my girlfriend is on a budget airline flight back to Ireland.
Oh no.
She was supposed to leave at whatever time it was, and 20 minutes later she texted me. She was like, the plane hasn't even started moving yet. I was like,
oh jeez.
Oh man.
Here we go.
Yep.
Welcome to our lives, darling.
Yeah.
The joys of being a staff production of anything, and you got to travel for it. It's a nightmare at the best of times. I've got combo breaker coming up, and I'm just trying to work out logistics. Like, flights are booked. I just need to get to the airport before my flight takes off, and hopefully get through customs and security, because that's always a fun time.
Yeah, you have to do the US pre-clearance then, do you?
Well, I've got the ESTA. I won't do. Yeah, well, I'll have to basically. Last time they checked me, US security checked me at Heathrow Airport.
Yeah. They do the same.
And then they checked me again. Yeah. All right, cool. So I shouted out some names, and these are all very typical non-white, non-American names. No, there's not a John in sight in this list. It's like, great, no John Smiths. Great, I see what you're doing. US, you keep doing you.
We're all talking about how difficult it is for us to travel to America. SilverFox, like, that must be like a totally different like
have you
ball
tried
game for you, like, to go to Evo or any of the big ones, like.
Oh, absolutely. Trust me, it's a pipe dream for a lot of guys over here. The fact that Arslan made it for the first time was a miracle in itself. And, you know, the fact that he was just going to Evo, which was an event that, you know, like, all of us used to watch historically year on year, and never imagined that, you know, we have like one of our own be there, you know, up in the top 8 of any tournament, let alone, you know, like, you know, just be a part of it. Like, there were people, you know, historically who have been there, but I don't think, you know, none as grand as, or none as filled with, you know, like the hopes of a nation as Arslan did.
Yeah.
Back when he went in 2019, we knew in our hearts that, you know, Arslan, if he's going there, he's not coming out, you know, slow. He's not going to come out low. He's definitely making top 8. He might have the potential to be able to take this entire thing, if only he gets through knee. And, you know, the rest, as they say, is history.
Yep, that knee booking his flight to Lahore, like, in that Evo, like, as he gets bet, like, you know. Dude, actually, Drift.
Yes.
You don't know this until you actually go to Pakistan, but Arslan Ash is like a legitimate celebrity over there. Like,
I believe it. I believe it. 100% believe it.
He was the brand ambassador for like Samsung, or he still is, sorry. So they have all these like S23 stands around, and the picture is just Arslan Ash. Like,
I saw that on stream.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, cool. I'm not sure if they did that on media day and like took the pictures there and then.
Nope.
Like, hey, Arslan, here's a camera, here's a phone. Sorry, hold it. We'll take a picture. Photoshop you in, whatever. No, so he's a legit Samsung ambassador.
He's on billboards, like, he's like on like actual billboards, like, Like, he's an actual celebrity. When he came into the venue, it was like, so we were all there like the day before, and everybody was kind of like warming up and playing. But when the venue actually opened, and then like we were all just kind of sitting around or walking around or doing something, and then like there was this like mad like security came in first, and I was like, what is this now? Like, you know, Arslan Ash walking in like with his bag and his little Red Bull hat and stuff, like, you know, like, and everybody is just like going up, can I get a picture, can I get a picture? Like, there's just like a crowd forming around him. Like, it was wild, like, you know, not that like he doesn't deserve it or like anything like that.
He definitely deserves it.
Absolutely. But he's like a national hero over there. It's crazy.
I remember when GamerBee won or got top 8 at Evo and came back to Taiwan and had pretty much the same experience getting out the airport.
Right.
And look at Bruce now; he's doing a lot of stuff in the region for the country for esports. But Arslan, like, fair play to him. He seems like one of the greatest guys, nice guys, nicest guys, nicer than you, Sam.
Damn it!
Picked up by Red Bull,
silver medal. Damn it!
You were silver medal to Arslan Ash. That's still a great silver medal, but you know you're not first. And I want to meet him one day, have a good conversation, just chill and chat. Not being big on the Tekken scene myself, I feel like I would definitely have a different view and not be a fanboy. Like, you know how some people are at events, like, you don't meet heroes in real life, right? And some people go see yourself, Sam. You've had numerous stories about how you get to the airport and people go, "Oh, hey Sam," like when I was at the event, chat and stuff, and be a bit slightly weird about it, just slightly. But yeah, you know, having a different view, and Arslan seems like a nice guy. I think I'd have a good conversation with him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a really nice guy. Like, I mean, he doesn't feel like when you're talking to him, it's not like he's like, but you know who I am. Like, he's very kind of, if you ask him a question, especially about Tekken and stuff, his like eyes, he like zeroes in and he's like, yeah, you know, it's because of this. And you're like, oh yeah, no, that does actually make sense. And he's like, no, it's definitely because of that. And I'm like, that's fair, you know.
I want to know how many hours he's put in training mode since Evo.
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, like, I'm pretty sure that, you know, for myself, I know that for sure. Like, Arslan, I've seen him work at the boot camp that he runs with Team Ashes, you know, his team.
Yeah.
And those guys, they have like a crazy sort of thing going on. It's like, you know, like, just imagine like 4 or 5 guys living in a boot camp. The moment that they wake up to the moment that they sleep at late at night, right? These guys, all they talk about is the game. All they do is just like practice on the game, talk about the game, talking about frames, you know, like, you know, discussing what character, what player, all those sort of things, reliving those historic moments. Like, so many times has it happened that, you know, like, we're just playing, right? Some of them are playing, and then all of a sudden one of them is like, hey, you know, how much is this move? And it's like, yo, it's 13. And I was like, all right, fine, thanks. And then, you know, they just start punishing with that, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, they have the frames on their fingertips of every character, which is insane.
That's mad. That is legitimately what most esport organizations should be like. Like, when you say a boot camp, that's pretty much their training schedule. You wake up, you have breakfast with the team, you do your thing. It's basically like any sports team, like cricket, football, rugby, whatever. Like, you live, breathe the team, you work together. Team games, yeah, sure, you have teammates and you work together, but not to say you can't be buddies and have a boot camp and work with other team members or other different teams. Like Arslan, Hera, Atif, you know, they're all on different teams, but they're still friends at the end of the day, and they all want to improve.
I think, and it's really weird because Khan has his own team. Am I right in saying that, Silver? And then they like train together. I thought it was really, really cool that, like, because obviously Arslan Ash has the Ashes, like, you know, and they're like the big boys, like, you know. And what's Khan's team name? Is he because I know he's on Fate, but that's not his team, is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his team is named Patan, which is basically a sort of like a caste that he belongs to.
Right.
So that's basically his team name, and one of the, I believe, top 8s, which was Noman Chaudhry, the Steve guy.
Yeah.
He's from that team.
Ah, right. Okay, yeah. But I mean, so they both have their own teams and stuff, and yet, like, when they were warming up, it was Khan and Arslan, and they were just like like warming up together, just playing some games and kind of chatting and stuff, like, which I thought was really cool, that there isn't this like whole rivalry, your team, my team sort of stuff. I'm only going to train with my boys, like, you know, they were just like, yeah, cool, let's play some sets, like, you know.
That's how it's been always. Okay, so taking back a little bit of an anecdotal note. So I believe the last time that CEO happened, when Arslan, Khan, and Farzine were there, right? So Farzine had his matchup against Kaiser.
Yes, I
and
remember that.
yeah, you remember that, right? So that was like the first time that I believe Farzine sort of like met Kaiser at that level, at Lucky Chloe at that level.
Yeah.
And he didn't really know the matchup, which is why, you know, he got taken down.
Yeah.
And then there came like, you know, like guerrilla style videography of like Arslan sitting on one side and Khan sitting on the other side, and they're practicing Lucky Chloe against each other. They're like trying to find the matchup.
Right.
And that's just like a slice of the action that happens over here, because from what I know and what I've seen is that Arslan at his boot camp, right? It's not just his team or his guys. Khan's over there, Farzine's over there, like a bunch of other people who don't even have representation. They come over there to be able to practice with these guys and to be able to, like, you know, sort of like grow, get better, you know, like have that sort of like friendly environment.
Yeah.
And I believe that's sort of like, you know, the good part about the community that we have over here is that, you know, it's not really about, you know, like you're from this and I'm from that and we have this sort of rivalry and, you know, we should train separately and all that. It's like if we work together as a community, we'll be able to grow together as a community. And at the end of the day, you know, all of us have to go and compete abroad, right? So it makes sense to be able to get the best practice over here that we can, so that we can compete abroad and, you know, we can show people that, you know what, no matter what Pakistani it is, they got their game locked down.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, like, it's showing now with the results, like, you know.
Yeah.
All over the Tekken.
Pakistan is a powerhouse.
Yeah, but can you tell us about a little bit about King of Fighters and stuff? Because you told me that everybody started in King of Fighters. King of Fighters was the game in Pakistan for a long time, right?
That's true. King of Fighters has a very, very old history with the scene over here. Okay. So back in the day, back in the 90s, right, the arcades were like filled with games, all sorts of games that were over here, right? And we had like these cabinets that were like custom made. We had to like have like, you know, and we tried to fill them with as many games as we could. Like a lot of the popular games was like Snow Brothers, Puzzle Bobble, but the ones that you could find in almost every arcade were Tekken 3 and King of Fighters, any sort of variety, any kind of it. We've had players come in and all the way from 94, and they're going to like the latest, the ones that are 99, 2000, 2001. Everyone played every game in the arcade. 2002, up until then, everyone was like in the arcades. And the experience over there was just like amazing, because that's a game that's sort of like very close to people. If you're playing 2D, that's King of Fighters, and if you're playing 3D, that's Tekken. So those were like that was like the dichotomy over here. There were a scant few who would play Street Fighter, but it wasn't as big as it was the world over. I guess to us it was more about, you know, it seems a little bit vain, but it was really about, you know, like the way that the game looks and the way that the game feels as a regard. So when Tekken 3 came out, there was like nothing that looked like it. It looked incredible for the time. Yeah. And King of Fighters, when put against Street Fighter 2 and all its iterations, looked fantastic. Sure. Every animation in that game looked really good. So people naturally gravitated towards that. And when they found out about the mechanics, they seemed like, all right, you know what, this is really fun, this is fine. I gel with these characters, they're really cool, they have personality. And ever since then, you know, like everyone has been playing King of Fighters over the years in some way, shape, or form. Arslan himself has been playing King of Fighters for a very long time. His name, Ash, everyone knows comes from the game.
There we go, there we go. He actually, do you remember he was at Versus Fighting Drift?
I was not there that year.
Oh, right, okay. It was last year that he showed up and he entered Tekken and King of Fighters, and I think
everyone got confused.
I think he won both of them. I think
he did. He actually did.
Yeah, he won both of them that year. Like same game, same tournament as well. Like,
jeez, built different. That man is definitely built different.
Absolutely.
Right, quick question for you, Silver. You say everyone started with King of Fighters, and you mentioned Tekken 3 in the arcades. Did you play Tekken 3?
I did play Tekken 3. I actually
who was your character?
So my character was.
Come on.
No. Eddie was the easy character. So the character that I usually picked, like in my family, it's been a historical thing. We always pick Law. because Law was really awesome. But I also really like to play Jin.
Right.
And I could never do the fancy stuff with the electrics and everything, but I'd just be doing random stuff with Jin, and it worked for me because the guy was so cool.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, fair play. Fair play.
He did look cool in Tekken 3 as well with those flame
Absolutely.
hands and the power gloves, like
The drip. The actual drip.
I personally was, like over the years, like I personally, when I was a kid, I used to take like Taekwondo lessons as well. So I wanted to be able to play Horong, but then Horong was like just another level of like insanity. So Jin was a lot more palatable, and we went there.
Fair play. Fair play.
Excellent.
Right. So, talk to me about. So we've spoken about King of Fighters, we've spoken about Tekken, slight history with Arslan and Atif and everyone else. How was the event? You mentioned like Arslan walking into the event, security guards, billboards, Samsung ambassador, all of that. Like, what was the event like for you guys?
Well, for me, as like the kind of foreigner there, it was incredible. First of all, real hot. Like Pakistan is like very warm this time of year, but like as soon as you walk in, there was the two stage set up, one at either side of the main hall or whatever. But we went in the day before, so we just saw like the main stage and stuff, and that's where all of the like the flash splash screens and stuff were up for all the international players. It was wild. It was wild, dude. Like, see your face up there, it's just like massive.
I think I saw you post a picture of the one of yourself.
Yeah.
On this, yeah.
Crazy, but yeah. I mean, look, it ran like a Tekken show. It was just like a lot of like really strong players, like I said, just kind of sitting
felt
around
like a
the
Masters.
pools. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, with the internationals, I mean, yeah, we had Ulsan make it to top 8, but
yes,
and AK, that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Like 2 out of 6.
Yeah.
And these are supposed to be the best players in the world. Like, like I was saying it from the very start. Because obviously there's such strong like visa problems with getting out of Pakistan to travel around a little bit more. And I'm like, as soon as there's big shows in Pakistan, you've no idea who's about to show up. Like, I was like saying, man, are these guys not even going to make it out of pools? Like, like any of the boys that we would know, like,
yeah, 100%. Like pretty much everyone I knew or know of, like, just stopped short of top 8.
Yeah. I mean, like, the scene is so strong there, like, but like, I was talking to Arslan Ash's manager, and so another how much of a big deal Arslan Ash is. He was doing a talk in a university in Pakistan, and about esports and what it's like,
Cool.
and so they organized like a tournament as well that you could play against Arslan in, right?
Right.
And he said that there was 2 guys in that university that he had never heard of that like went like toe to toe with him. He won them in the set. But like this kid was
he was sweating.
He mentioned one guy because his manager remembered his name. That's how like serious this was. But he said dude's name was Osama, and he was like the kid was 16 or 17. He was like, as soon as he's old enough to travel, like, we gotta get him to travel. Like, he's about to like smashing people up, like, So wait for it, man. 2 years time, Osama's about to start like absolutely.
You guys heard it here first. Osama from Pakistan.
I bet those contracts are already being drafted right now.
They're ready. Oh boy.
Yep.
Awesome. Sorry, Silver. Go on.
No, so I'm so sorry. So that's one of the things that we're sort of like getting around to now in the country is that it's not just about doing the shows. It's about actually like going out to the community and like trying to get the new blood in, because up until Arslan actually won Evo, and up until like he started making his own team and started winning events more and more, not a lot of people had any faith in the system. They always thought that like gaming is like just a pastime, it's a hobby. Parents were really skeptical of it. How it was a couple of years ago across the world. Yep. So over here it was the same thing, and now we feel that, it's not just our responsibility as players to be able to promote Pakistan to the international community. It's also our job to be able to take that new talent, the one that's been told that, like this stuff is never going to amount to anything, to be able to tell them that, dude, you can do something with this.
It's not a real job. Like, don't listen to your parents. It is a real job. Just do the right thing. Get your education under you. and you can make a career out of it.
I want to
in
say,
any way, shape, or
if
form.
you treat it like a job, it becomes a job, right? So, like, if you want it to become a job, wake up early to do it. Like, you know, like exactly what you were saying about in the training in the Ashes training camp. Like, you know, the guys wake up, play Tekken, take a break, get lunch, then do it until the end. Like, you know, treat it like a job. Like, you know, and then, you know, everyone around you, if you say I have to go to work or I have to go in and play Tekken, like, people will start respecting it a little bit more, I think.
It's the start. It's the start.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah,
have
absolutely.
to start somewhere, and doing stuff like this, I respect it. Hey guys, this is Drift. Thanks for listening to this episode of Fuzzy Guard. If you haven't already, subscribe to our social media channels and you'll never miss a shot with Sam. Don't forget to hit that like button or give us 5 stars and share your thoughts in that comment section below.
And whatever I've seen is incredible. It's amazing. And I know the sort of struggles that these guys come from. I know the sort of circumstances that they have. And, you know, it makes me want to do something for them, which is why, you know, we've had all this sort of thing happen. For the longest time, you know, like me and my co-commentator, Soul Dragger, we've always kept it in our mind, and we've always had this discussion that, you know, like, we want to do something for the community. We want to make sure that these guys, they get that representation that is long due of them. They have, like, even before them, there were people who played the game and then they had to give up on their dream because there weren't enough opportunities. They had to go back to real life, maybe get real jobs, play the game once in a while, maybe in a blue moon, just, you know, like, look at it from afar, but never really go into it in the terms of, you know, like, what is happening right now. So right now we're living in sort of like a golden age for the Pakistani community, where, you know, like, the world is looking at us, they're looking at our Tekken games, they're looking at the King of Fighters that we play, you know, pretty soon. Street Fighter 6 is going to come out, and we've got players, you know, like, they're ready for that. Arslan is definitely going to be playing that, that's for sure.
At least give it a go, right?
Yeah, you know, dude, Arslan is the kind of guy, like, you know, I compare him to someone like Sonic Fox, where, you know, he could just, like, pick a game, and he just goes into it, and then he understands it all, and, you know, in just, like, a week or two's time, that's it. He's the real deal. He's going to be a tournament threat.
Built different. I wish I could do that. I wish I had. No, I wish I could do that. I don't wish I had the time to do it. I need to make time to do it. That's That's a different mentality. Making time to do things you love and you want to do versus just doing it. Unfortunately, like, gaming for me personally is slightly low on the list. Like, I love to play games, love fighting games, but put me behind the camera, let me take pictures. I will document the hell out of any event that you want me to document.
Let's go back to because the top 8 of Tekken was absolutely crazy, like, you know, and dude, the Pakistani crowd are nuts, dude. I
want them versus France or Spain,
like over, like, oh no, my camera, I got too hype. I got too hype.
You got too hype.
Oh wow, too much energy.
Sam, just control yourself, man.
How does that even happen, dude?
I don't know. You're too overpowered. Like, while Sam's sorting out his camera, I'll quickly run through top 8 for Tekken at Takedown. Atif was first, winning 1 million rupees, which equates to $3,500 US. Arslan won 400, second place with 1,400. Healer came third, and that was 200,000 rupees, and that's $700. Fourth place, Dawood. 5th to 6th was Farzine and AK. Ulsan came 7th, and Newman came 8th.
Yes.
So that was top 8 for Tekken. And whilst Sam is still messing around,
I'm
and
sorry,
for the
guys,
listeners,
I'm
not
sorry.
the viewers, that's perfect.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
It's still crazy to me that Takedown had a 2 million rupee prize pool, and registration was free.
Yeah.
Like,
that was
sponsors must have been sweating, because I'm like, how can you afford to run this when no one's paying in? Shows that it can be done, and if you have the financial backing of some great people, like, you make a great event, an amazing event.
McDonald's of Pakistan, bro. Shout out
I know,
to the guys.
I saw that. I was like, you guys got McDonald's on here?
I remember, me and Sam, we went, like, you know, like, after I was done with, like, my commentary on the first day, that we went to, like, the back room, and there's, like, just McDonald's burgers, like, right over there, all over. Everywhere. And we're just like, dude, like, is this for us? And I'm like, yeah, just have as much as you want. And I'm like, what?
Yep.
Just cheeseburgers or just like
It was
Big
a
Macs and whatnot?
spicy
There was
McCrispy.
spicy chicken.
Oh, okay, the
Yeah,
new one.
spicy McCrispies.
Yeah, sure.
Those were the ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in Pakistan, mostly we prefer chicken over
Oh, of
beef.
course. Sorry, apologies.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Of
Yeah.
course.
I didn't
So,
eat
yeah,
any
so that's-
beef at all, I don't think. Oh, there was beef in the naan, actually. I remember that.
Oh, there was? Oh, that's good. Right. So I'm personally a big beef lover myself, right?
Okay,
So yeah, so the chicken, like I'm like okay with it, but if anything has beef, I definitely want to go for it.
That's it.
Breast or thigh chicken?
Thigh.
Thai?
Good man.
Breast is breast is way too
Dry.
I have sort of like I have warmed up to it over the years because I found that sort of thing, but I'd rather have something that's juicy as opposed to
Yes.
something where I need like pints of water.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Chicken thighs are the ones, Sam. Like, don't listen to anyone else. Listen to SilverFox and I.
Okay.
So that was Tekken. Just quickly run through King of Fighters top 8. Cammy Jones came first, who is part of Arslan's group, Ashes Gaming. Prize pool, first place came with 125,000 rupees, which is $440. Haz came second, 50,000 rupees, that's $176. Imran came third, $25,000, $88. Zuni came fourth, Muz came fifth, The John came sixth, Foul Tox came seventh, and Jeffrey Mark came eighth. And that was an all Pakistani top 8.
All right.
Like,
Just
no
can we
international.
go over that, because did you say Imran, as in, is that
Imran
this-
Champ.
Oh, right, okay.
Imran Chap,
But
yeah.
the John is definitely the same John, the John from Tekken.
Yes, it's the same one.
Okay.
Built different.
Whilst we
So-
were on a break, sorry, I'm just gonna say, like I said to Silver whilst you're away, Sam.
Yeah.
Like, the more events Pakistan runs, the crazier it's gonna get. It seems easier to get into Pakistan for everyone else than for everyone in Pakistan to come out internationally for visas wise, right? So the more events that happen, the crazier it's gonna get. The world's gonna level up, and yeah, King of Fighters can show up and defeat Mexico, who is notoriously known as like the King of Fighters region.
Right. Really?
And
Mexico
they are
is
known.
like-
They are, yes, they are.
Yeah,
Wow.
Mexico, and now apparently Pakistan. So I want to see that 5v5, 10v10, whatever. Someone make it happen.
Oh.
That
Someone make
would
it
actually
happen.
be really hype. I would really love that. Although here's the thing, here's a very funny thing. The Pakistani community, while they do revere the Mexican side of things, right, the South American and North America,
Yeah.
the real ambition for most of the Pakistanis is not to be able to play the Mexicans, but to play the Chinese.
Yes,
Whoa.
that's the third country. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
this-
Yeah?
Top two
It
countries
is-
are Mexico
yeah.
and China.
It is the dream of everyone in Pakistan to be able to one day play with Shanghai and get their ass kicked.
Exactly. Basically, that's King of Fighters like top dream right there.
Is
Like, Zhao Hai is godlike.
He's the Arslan Ash of King of Fighters. Isn't
He is
Pretty
he is
much.
the undisputed Arslan Ash
Arslan
for so
Lee,
many years.
Like, he is those two together. He plays everyone in King of Fighters, and if you see King of Fighters, you know how many characters there are.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Oh,
he'll
yeah.
just he'll hit random, or all three random, and just make a random team out of nowhere. And Zhao Hai's just he's sick. Quick question, side note on speaking of King of Fighters and China. How is the visa situation? Can Pakistan go to China? I should know this probably. Can Pakistanis go to China easily, or is the visa as difficult as America?
I don't think that there's a lot of issues with the visa in terms I believe that going to China isn't as difficult, but I think there's a lot of sort of like logistics that sort of like tie them all together, which is a little bit difficult for people to sort of like overcome. It's obviously not cheap, right, to be able to go to China. Yeah. And even though, like the visa issues might be sorted out, but then there's also that sort of issue of, like this is a country where predominantly there's not a lot of halal food, right? There's not a lot of a major language barrier. Like even if we were to speak, English, no one understands English over there. They're mostly speaking in Mandarin.
Yeah.
Correct.
So there's a lot of things that go into it. And, even if you like forget about like maybe like, even if you're not going into like central China, if you're going someplace to play like in Taiwan or having somewhere, so they speak Cantonese over there, which is a completely different language.
I got you.
So yeah, so there's issues like that over there. We'd love to be able to have some sort of inroads into that, to be able to facilitate that.
Sure.
But the way that things are right now, it is difficult. And not just that, it's because I feel that the sort of traction that Tekken has in Pakistan, King of Fighters has not had that sort of traction in terms of optics. Everyone looks at Pakistan for like the Tekken 7 region. They're like like the strongest in the world. Yeah. But when it comes to King of Fighters, there's not, I believe, that much support from the developers, from the community, from the developers themselves, right? And the community is even like they're not as strong to be able to like host these sort of major events. Like if you talk about a King of Fighters event, then people are gonna be like, oh, okay, fine. But if you talk about a Tekken event, people are gonna be like, oh wow, okay, we should definitely go watch that. That's gonna be hype.
Right.
Yeah. I think that is partly the historical nature of King of Fighters, of being a long game, especially when it's like best 3 out of 5, first to 3 or whatever. But also, like you said, developers not helping support the game. Saying that they are releasing DLC, but they don't have a pro tour. Like Sylvia's coming out today, I believe. Paula.
Yes.
Her trailer looks interesting. She's got an OTG Super. She's nuts. She's crazy. I'm down with watching King of Fighters, but I can only watch so much of it because it feels like a long game because there's 3 characters.
No, trust me. It looks like it's a long game, but there's layers to it. Like every time a character sort of like goes down, there's another one that comes up, and you have to feel like, and you have to see like, okay, fine, you know what? They're playing in this position, and it's this character. What are they gonna do? How's that game gonna play out? I have been like, I'm pretty sure like, you've seen, and Samus already told you, like, I've commentated the top 8 for KOF, and it's not just the first tournament I've been doing for KOF. There's like, I've commentated like, KOF 15 tournaments, KOF 14 tournaments. I've commentated KOF 98 tournaments. Every time you watch any sort of KOF game, it feels like maybe it might be long, but it's always so worth it because, like whatever you see over there is just incredible. These guys have a lot of talent, and to be able to see them sort of like pull it out, matches can be over in in a flash of a minute because that game is so aggressive, so super fast that when you play that, you don't want to play any other game. You cannot play any other game.
No, you can't. And the meta and everything else to King of Fighters is crazy and can be fun to watch. So I do urge everyone to at least give it a try as a viewer, or even pick up the game. It's sometimes on sale now. It's been out for a while. King of Fighters 15. So a lot of DLC characters coming through still. They've got some support. Just needs a decent pro tour backing.
Yeah,
that's true.
But back to Takedown, or back to Pakistan and the trip in general. Like we've gone through Tekken, we've gone through King of Fighters top 8.
Sorry, yeah. Would you? How much is $1 million in dollars? Again.
$1 million in dollars was $3,500 US dollars. That was more than the Bolivia La Paz.
Damn! Number one, baby. Number one.
Yeah. That's all I will say. I won't dig into details. You can all find this on Wikipedia. So I'm just rooting off numbers, and that was at the current exchange rate at the time. So
Damn.
Find that there. So yeah, that was the event. You guys did commentary. Top 8 for King of Fighters. Top 8 for Tekken 7. Amazing event, like I said, great stuff. You guys killed it. I enjoyed watching it.
Do you know what was weird about it though? I just remembered this. The VIP area that was there for like the top 8. Silver, did you were in that? Because I saw you with your wife and your child on the like armchairs.
Yes,
that was obnoxiously large. Like
the VIP area or the chair?
The VIP area. Like,
VIP
so
area.
they had like all of these like velvet ropes all around, right? And then there was a security guard posted at each of the ropes. So like genuinely there's like 10, 11 guys just like all around. And then they had like 4 2-seater couches all around for that. And then there was like beanbags and stuff. But I was like, this area is too big for the, because normally like there isn't a VIP area. It's just like a backstage with a TV that shows the stream. Like this was an area with security and like the whole thing. And like there was Red Bull guys running around, like getting Red Bulls out to everybody, so that when the
and it was smack dab in the middle of the hall.
Is there any like curtains or anything, or was it just ropes and security?
Just ropes and security.
Like, so you were basically walking into a holding pen of a VIP area, so people can see you.
Yes.
Yeah.
and just watch you relax.
But it was so strange because I was like, at one point I was sitting and I was just watching, and there was a gap in between a game, like, so I think I was talking to Infinax, and then all I could hear, Sab. I like turn around and there's a dude at the rope, like waving, and I was like, shit, do I like know this guy? And I just walked over to him and he was like, can I get a photo? And I was like, God, shit, hit me with the mix up, man. Like, you know, like he had this sort of like hey, remember we were talking or something? But like, it was just like slap bang in the middle, big sofas, and then like there was some actress lady. She was like some like superstar in Pakistan, and then there was two of the biggest YouTubers from the country were also there. And like the head of like one of these massive companies was just sitting chilling in there. So we're just sitting chilling, and then all of these legitimate VIPs are just like actually just sitting and chilling. And so there's like crowds of people, everyone is like just recording on their phone like into the VIP area. I thought that was like, it felt obnoxious, like, you know, just
that's true Hollywood status. And when C4 listens to this episode, you just watch out for your phone, because that's gonna blow up.
Yeah, dude, I'm so afraid, because I'm definitely thinking about getting like Soul Dragger in to do like a regular episode of Fuzzy Guard, so we can just talk about all of just life in general and stuff, like, and I'm so afraid, because they did roll out the red carpet for us. Like shout outs to the event organizers, man. Like
that's a dream for me. Like one day when I'm not a photographer, I might actually get some red carpet. But,
absolutely. Yeah, dude, let's see, the reason that we held this event was to be able to, like, you know, showcase to the world that this is what our community is. And the fact that, you know, like we invited Sam, we invited Rip, we invited Steve, all these guys, it was to be able to, you know, like, you know, to welcome them, to show them our hospitality. Like, you know, all right, this is your first time visiting Pakistan. This is what we are. This is what our community is. We want you to feel welcome. Yeah. We want you to feel, you know, like at home over here. Check out our boys, check out our guys, you know, like, we're really excited to have you over here. This is a great honor for us to have all these people take an interest in our region. And that's the whole point of the whole tournament happening in the first place. The guy who organized this, Daniel, right? From what I know, didn't take a single penny for entry. Didn't take a single penny in terms of registration for spectators, for players, anything of the sort. And the reason for that was because he had this idea of building a community, building a scene here. And you can't do that if you want to be able to put a price tag on it, or you have ulterior motives. You need to come at this genuine. I remember the first day, which was an absolute fiasco in terms of, you know, like organizing and everything. There was this whole talk about, you know, him trying to get, like, his management, his team was like, you know, all right, you know, we got these people, these stars, we're gonna have this PR event, we need you some for photography. And he was just like, dude, I don't want any of that. I just want my brackets run. I want my stream up. I want my brackets run. I want my players to be there. So, and I hate to be able to say this, but while we were all taking that photo and 128 needed to start, right? So there was this huge, like, group that was in front of the main stage where the YouTube star was, who was like a big deal. Like, people were taking photos over there. And then, you know, like, once that happens, Daniel sort of like comes out from the other side, and he's just like furious. He's like, where's my bracket? Where are my people? Like, get these guys over there. I don't care about PR. Just get them over there. I want my matches to start. I've given the time. I want my matches.
That's a true tier right there.
Absolutely, and that is why I respect that guy so much, because 100%. I have never seen anyone do that.
100%. That's like ulterior motives. You could say ulterior motives, but trying to make sure your event runs is one thing. Trying to make sure your event runs again is different, and making sure your event can be repeated numerous times is a third different thing. Like, yeah, you said no money was taken. Not a single penny was taken for entry of spectators, players. Like, he must have deep pockets. That's all I'll say. Because the event looked amazing. Like, you were at the Expo Center Lahore. Like, it sounds like a big area.
Dude,
it's
crazy,
Expo Center.
Man. It was crazy.
Yeah, like, and you got all these sponsors in. Like, props to the Neil, because like, I want to shake his hand. He made this event happen. I don't even know the guy. I was like, you made this happen, and this was sick.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
we need more people like you in the scene.
we definitely need to address the elephant with the like stream and stuff going down. From what I heard, that wasn't actually internet.
Okay.
Like, so I heard that was like the way stuff was rigged out or something, that the PCs got overloaded. Like,
Right.
Drift will tell you, Silver, I don't know anything about this like side of things.
Sam is a
like,
granddad when it comes to technology.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, for us, that was kind of the one, like, that kind of sucked, because like you'd be in the middle of a set or something, and then like our monitors, which we see the game on, they would just die. And like,
as well.
I was like sitting with Infinax, and we were both sitting there, and it was like the first time it was like we just continued talking, tried to kind of fill the air, because we had no idea if we were live or not, because we didn't
Everything
get
died.
everything.
Okay. Damn.
And so we were just, maybe we're still live, not 100% sure or whatever. And then somebody comes in and goes, yeah, guys, you're not live. Stream just went down or something. And so you end up sitting there 10, 15 minutes, like, or whatever. And then someone goes, okay, we're live again now. You're live. And they're like, okay, all right, let's do it, guys. Let's go. And I mean, it was the most unfortunate time, because like that was day one. Nightmare stuff, like, you know, obviously no event wants that to happen. It does happen, unfortunately. There isn't an esports event that goes off flawlessly. I have never seen it. But day two, grand finals, bracket reset, and the whole thing.
Oh my god.
I was like, no way. Like, the last set. It was so funny. Actually, speaking of, there was a bit. But when it came back, there was a mix-up in scores, right? But as it ended, they had this like crane shot that went out over the crowd, right? SilverFox was up at the front of the stage, giving it loads of this to the TR, the stage manager or something. I can't remember, because we were just looking at it on the screen, and all I could see was that like crane shot. You there?
No, I'll tell you what actually happened. All right, so here's what happened. So all of us are watching the stream, like, you know, we're watching the set being played, right? And we're sitting down in the audience, and, you know, like, we see the match happening, and all of a sudden Atif Butt wins. It's 2-1, and I'm like, all right, you know what, we gotta go. You know, that's great. You know, he just needs one more and he wins. And then all of a sudden I look up at the screen, and Arslan's getting up, and I'm like, wait, what? Arslan's getting up? That means that's a definitive that the match is over. It's over. And I was like, wait, what just happened? And then I see Atif Butt walking towards the edge of the stage, and I look at it and I'm like, okay, this dude is baked. He is done. He can't feel the air around him. He needs some space. So what he does is he's like, you could see that, you know, like, he was like sweating bullets, and he was panting. He didn't know what to do. He needed a drink of water real bad. He had a bottle in his hand. So what he does is he sits down on the edge of the stage trying to compose himself, about to take a sip of water, and all of a sudden, like, out of nowhere, like, everyone just sort of like does crowd around him, but out of a sudden, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, just Soul Dragger just comes in and just gives the guy a hug. And I'm looking at him, and you're like, he's about to take a sip of water, and then just bam, and even he gets stunned. He's like, dude, what the hell? So, and you know, Soul Dragger, you know, unfortunately, he didn't realize what was going on. So, but, you know, like, I saw it, and I was like, okay, you know what, dude, just get off of him. So I got him off of him, and I'm like, all right, you know what, dude? Like, I tell Atif, I was like, dude, don't worry about it. Just take your time, take your breath, right? You got enough space. Get a sip of water, catch your breath, right? And I was like, sort of trying to hold the area around here, and all of a sudden, like, you know, like, I feel like, you know, one or two bouncers come in. So I was like, all right, you know what? This is basically what it is. We gotta make some space for him. So as soon as, you know, like, he catches his breath, and I'm like, dude, are you good? Are you fit? He's like, I'm all good. I was like, all right, fine. Let me help you up. Help him up, and then I start clapping, and then he goes back, and, you know, like, then that's when, you know, like, I believe that's when Steve's like, you know, like, he's champ. Yeah. So, and we didn't know what happened later on, and, like, you know, in my opinion, I knew that, you know, like, it was the first to 3, but the score was like 2-1. Later, it was found out that, you know, like, the score was supposed to be 3-0. Arslan did not, in fact, win that set when the power went out.
It was when the power came back on, they were playing on Infinite Azure. And it was Infinax said it to me. It was like, there's no way that
Atif was
about
that
to pick Infinite Azure against Arslan Ash, unless there's some wild counterplay stuff that nobody has seen before. That's a mistake on the score. So like we knew on the bench that it was over as soon as, like, because I was like, no, but that means then it was 3-0, and then I saw people standing up. I was like, no way, that was sick, like that was crazy. But yeah, it was the Infinite Azure pick. But
I didn't actually catch the whole Infinite Azure thing, but the moment that Arslan stood up, I knew it was over.
Yeah.
I knew it was over, and I was like, oh shit, what just happened? I felt like I didn't pay attention enough to that last set. I was like, dude, that was the final set. I didn't get to pay attention to it. What?
Yeah, it was really unfortunate that that there was so much there was just problems with like getting it up online and stuff, because genuinely for anybody watching, like it was an incredible like tournament. Like there wasn't a boring game on like stream. No, like, you know,
the TOs, like the bracket runners, they did an amazing job. Every game on stream was sick. Like I said, it can't be helped sometimes where power cuts out, things get overloaded. It is just the way it is sometimes. Like, you learn, you move on, you make sure you don't have too many things running off one cable, all of that fun jazz.
See, the thing about that is, we haven't had these sort of events happen before, which is why we don't know what could go wrong.
Yeah.
And, that's the whole problem of it. The first day, what I do understand was that, the night before the first day, they had everything set up with the internet and everything. And then in the morning, from what I heard from the management over there, was that they had switched the internets, the internet, and the main internet went down, the backup went down, and because of that, some of the systems, the stream wasn't working properly. And there was also the overloading thing that you mentioned, Sam. The streams obviously weren't working properly. A lot of the systems had to be logged in again because they weren't able to authenticate the game. So there was that as well. So that also held up the bracket. And there was all the sort of like, the issue that was happening. These issues weren't prevalent on the second day, fortunately.
Yeah.
And dude, okay, so the funniest part was that, like, on the first day, like, I'm just running around putting fires out here and there. I tell Danielle, like, okay, fine, I've done my commentary bit for the day. I don't need to do any more. Don't worry about it. I'm with you. I'm trying to sort out everything that I can. And I'm running over there, like, trying to get the brackets set up, trying to, like, sort of, like, upload the scores, trying to get matches done. I actually took Rip from his commentary desk to his bracket. I got him to sit down. I got him to have his score recorded and sent him back into commentary on the first day. That's what happened. Wow. So I'm doing there, all these fires being put out, and I walk out, and all of a sudden there's like this huge gust of wind at night that comes out and just starts, upending everything that's outside. So it's like even the force of nature wants this thing to crash. We're still chugging on because, we're the Pakistani scene, man.
That's it.
Stay strong.
That's it. How's your voice actually? You were saying that there was a little bit. Oh, I meant to send you that video, the recovery workout, like, voice thing that I.
For the voice?
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh no, that's okay. Thanks a lot for that. But okay, so after the tournament, we, Sam, you were there. We spent the entire night on Monday night at Maniacs screaming our lungs out over the Pakistani versus
you
international.
did another commentary block, didn't you? It was you, Dragger, and Steve.
So here's what happened. It was initially like it was Dragger and I believe it was Shahir or Spag. They were sitting there first. Then they got up for a little bit, and then I sat down with Rip.
Right.
We commentated for a little while, and then the actual 6v6 happened, and that was all Dragger and Steve. And they were going at it, and I was in the back shoutcasting like my first gig.
Yeah.
And just hyping everything up, and I was just going like, oh yeah. So if you watch that stream, you'll actually be able to hear me shout and just lose my voice in between. So after that was done, I could not speak. Really, legit could not speak for 2 days.
Damn, man.
That's
you can ask Infinax. I got on the phone with him when he told me, "Oh, hey, dude, Spag's in the hospital." I'm like, "Really? Spag's in the hospital?
What the fuck?"
Okay, I'll get in touch with everyone. I'll try to get things done. This is legit. I kid you not. This is how I was sounding dead ass.
Oh, ouch.
That's wild.
I mean, yeah, I heard Spag end up in hospital.
Yeah, he got some infection. I don't know what it was. I don't know if he made it public, but
it was I think it was a stomach bug. He got that, unfortunately.
Yeah, stomach bug, like, and then he got antibiotics, and then like got back to the hotel, flew back. I think he's on the road to recovery. He says he's recovering from last I saw on Twitter.
yeah. But there was I don't want to like mention any names or whatever, but there was a couple of the other guys that got like bugs or something.
Yeah.
I remember. I don't want to shout any, but a couple of the international guys. Now, Silver, I hope this doesn't offend, but we were told before going over there, it was like, be careful with the food. Don't eat anything cold, and don't drink tap water like at all, or else you know that's 2 days that you're not going to get back. Like, like, is it like, obviously for you guys, like with an immune system, like if you're used to it, is it a different thing, or with like the
It absolutely
stuff, yeah?
No, it absolutely is. It's a different thing for us because, we're sort of like used to the palate over here. And the second thing is that, because of the water that we have over here, it's a lot different from the water that's in the rest of the world, I believe. So it's a bit more hard in that sense. So because of that, we're a lot more adept at taking care of this sort of stuff. But even we get the stomach bug every now and then, so we try not to eat, like as much, like filthy food outside that's been cooked in like God knows, like what circumstances. Yeah. So well, you know how it is, like there's
Street
dust
food
everywhere. Street food.
different.
Yeah, exactly. So street food. So we generally try to avoid that if we can, and it works out great for the most part. And even if we somehow do catch that bug, we know what medicines to be able to take, and it's all just over-the-counter stuff, so we can get that. I know for a fact that, like if I get that sort of thing, I go on like complete, like no, like strict diet of just bread and tea, and that's it. That's the only thing that I'm having that day, and the next day I'm gonna be fine.
Nice.
So that's how it is for me.
Yeah.
When you know, like that's experience talking.
That's
right there.
it. Yeah, I think a couple of the boys just got kind of. I didn't have any like. I think there was one day where my stomach just got a little bit wavy or something, but I think that was just me being an idiot and like eating too spicy foods, like, for breakfast. That's a thing as well about Pakistan, man. You guys like spicy in the morning, like I knew that there was going to be spicy, but for breakfast was wild for me, man.
Was it spicy that you like, Sam, or was it spicy like sinus spicy that you don't?
No, like chili spicy, which is the best spicy. It's the only spicy that should exist. Mustard and wasabi and horseradish should blow them up, get them out of this universe, man. Because it's all about the chili spice. I love chili spice, but it's the thing, because like I tried so for the breakfast in the hotel, they had like, it was so funny, they had it like separated into sides. That on one side it was like eggs, like different sausages. You could get beans, and then like there was like pancakes, French toast, waffles, syrup, and all that. And then the other side was like 2 different types of rice. There was like different curries, all different meats and stuff that you could get. And then it ended with naan and what's the pat?
It's called paratha.
Paratha, that's it, yeah. And they had that, like, and it was literally either side of the buffet, like, so I always played it safe and went 50-50,
I was gonna say, it sounds like I'm gonna do. If I went, I'd be double dipping. Have a normal English breakfast and then try the local cuisine for breakfast.
That's almost exactly what I did. But I just did like, I'll just have a tiny little bit of like the Western food, and then like just try as much of the stuff that I can. Yeah. I can. But I didn't understand, and like they have the little things like, but with no description. So I didn't know what a nihari was until I ate a nihari. And it was just like, okay, I suppose I'm eating a nihari now, like,
Okay, so the thing about nihari is that, like, it's basically meat that's been broiled to the point where, like, it's kind of like melt in your mouth, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And it's in a gravy that's basically made out of flour.
Okay. Yeah.
Flour and spices. So that's why it had that sort of really thick consistency. That's Sam. If you sort of tasted that, that's where it came from. Yeah. I actually had that this morning as well.
For breakfast
at work. Yeah, for breakfast. People have that for breakfast, and it's actually really good. I really enjoy it.
I'm down. I'm down. Like, I've just had food, and this talk of Pakistani food is making me hungry. Like,
So the thing is that, okay, so these things, like you have them with naan bread, but also, like the best thing to be able to do is that have them with a sort of like a traditional sweet drink that we call over here called lassi.
Oh,
Yes,
Now, lassi is basically,
I do like
yeah,
lassi.
it's milk and yogurt.
Yeah.
yeah,
So good.
It ruins me because I'm lactose intolerant, but I do love lassi.
Ah,
Nice.
So, okay, so that was the event. That was breakfast. That was hotel. I saw the picture that some of you guys posted, Sam, of the traditional Pakistani outfit.
Let's go, Shabakami, boys.
oh yeah.
Talk to me, because that looks amazing.
All
That
right,
looks
Sam, all
comfortable.
you go for this.
It was when we arrived. I had said like, oh, Spag had told me about like the traditional Pakistani wear, and I was thinking like, we'll go shopping, see what the crack is, and it was actually SilverFox that brought me, Rip, and Steve into the like mall, right? And we were just in the thing like, and it was like, like realistically speaking, I didn't know what to expect. Like, so I was like, I just want to buy it. I just want to get it and look cool, like, or whatever. And then we went in, and the dude was like, "Oh, what sort of pants do you want? Like what sort of shoes should I wear?" And obviously, we don't know, man. We're idiots here. Like, I'm sorry. Let's not speak for everyone. I'm an idiot here. I have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm just like holding stuff up. Like, is this cool? What's this? Can I get that in a different color or whatever? Like,
Yeah.
But thank you, Silver. He was like just in like explaining to us exactly when you would wear that. I'll be honest, I wanted to get one of the like, they have these like turban things, but they've got like a big mohawk thing in it. But apparently it's just for your wedding. Like you would only wear it like if you were actually getting married. So
I mean, Sam, there you go. There's your excuse.
I just say, I'm in love with Tekken, baby. Like, No,
And I'm
but,
assuming you've brought that outfit back with you to Ireland.
I was wearing those trousers yesterday. They are the most comfortable. Like
They look
like,
so comfortable. Like the whole outfit, just like, especially in hot, dry weather, like Pakistani is, as like just perfect wear for that
like
sort of
I got
environment.
a black one, which like I was like, it's probably not going to be good for the outside, like genuine,
Yeah, you're gonna
because
be cooking.
everything is designed to flow and promote airflow and stuff. So it was. I mean, you can see why it's popular in the hot country, like
For sure, definitely.
But yeah, it was awesome. Like me, Rip, and Steve all got the one there on that day, and then I know Rip and Steve went back. Then I don't know if Rip definitely did buy a second one. I don't know did Steve. Like so the guys like went home with like,
2 sets.
arms full of Chaval Kameez, yeah. Shalwar, damn it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Kameez.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine. Shalwar is basically the big flowing pants, and the kameez is the shirt. The long draped shirt, which has a lot of embroidery on it. Sam actually got a very tasteful one of embroidery right around the buttons and the collar. Looked really classy.
Yeah.
You should have worn it for the stream, Sam.
Damn it.
For the YouTube.
Where is that?
That's fine. We'll stick on Patreon.
man.
People can see
Alright.
it. That's fine. That's fine.
Oh, we can take a second. You can definitely go change right now.
Just pause. I'll come back. No, but dude, those turbans looked unbelievable. Like I was like really just wanted to get one, but
Oh, Sam, you didn't tell about the guy like in the posters over there as well.
Yo, what?
So in the shot that we were at, right?
Okay.
So they had like pictures on the wall, basically, of these models, right?
Yeah.
And I kid you not, almost all the models had like a mustache, like
the
Sam's.
same mustache and the same quiff. Because I was rocking like the show hair, like which is like up and like sprayed up.
The
pump.
I just looked up at like, because they're all up on like the top. I was like, holy. That kind of looks like what I want to be. Like, it's like a guy with like, the exact, like it was, I'm not joking, the exact same mustache and like the same hair. I was like,
So what you're saying is you're fashionable in Pakistan.
dude, I was like,
And nowhere else.
I'm telling you, bro, I'm thinking about hitting up a deposit on some apartment over there and just hang out for a while,
I mean, if there's another takedown next year, might be worth it.
All right, since we're speaking about that, I believe that like this takedown that happened right now is just the start of many things. I know for a fact that, we've got a lot more project coming down the line, which number one, is the documentary that we're filming right now these days. We saw a trailer for that over at the event. And the process of that right now is that me and Soul Dragger are currently working with Daniel and his company to be able to get that documentary done.
Nice.
So it's going to be a multi-part sort of thing, and we want to be able to chronicle the Pakistani scene, the sort of like hidden aspect of it.
Yeah.
That's one project that I know for sure that is down the line. We've got other things that we want to be able to do in the future. A new Takedown is definitely in the books for next year. I actually have a call with Daniel later this week where we get to, sort of like have a debrief of what happened and what's the next step. So I would definitely say keep your eyes peeled definitely on the region, right? We're going to be doing quite a lot more. This is just a start. And I'm telling you, we are super excited for what comes next because the sky's the limit right now. And since this is the last year that Tekken is, so we want to be able to like make our mark over here and go into Tekken 8 strong.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what I like to hear. So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Takedown is coming back. Just mark off May. Just start saving now. Mark off May. If it happens around the same time, there you go. May, Pakistan. See you there. I will try my best to go.
Yo, hey, SilverFox. Get
Yes.
an international photographer in there. Drift is your boy right there, bro. Let's do it,
yeah.
man. Let's roll out squatty, man.
No, for sure. I'd love to be able to have like Drift and anyone else who'd love to be able to come. Dude,
definitely.
next time the target next time is to be able to get Markman in.
Oh,
So if you get
yeah.
Markman, then maybe someday, maybe we can get Harada and Harada-san, please.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Well, maybe speak it into existence. That is my goal this week. Like speaking things into
Yeah,
existence.
just put it out there in the universe.
Damn right. That we aim high, and achieve what you can, and we'll get there for sure. But yeah, Takedown 2024, Tekken 8. Can't wait to hear it. What's the documentary called?
So the documentary itself is called Hidden Boss.
Hidden Boss.
And the idea of the whole thing was, Arslan, when he won, he was, a spotlight was sort of like shown on him as this one undiscovered guy from a region where nobody had sort of like heard from. But he's just one of many. And we wanted to be able to sort of like chronicle the other guys that are out there that could, in potential in the future, rise up to, be of that status. We wanted to be able to take it from like the genesis of the FGC over here in Pakistan, how things were back in the 90s and 2000s, and to document Arslan's win at EVO, and the sort of like, how Pakistan sort of got into prominence. All these guys, Atif, Hira, Bilal, all these guys going abroad, OS Honey, making their mark, becoming names. And we want to be able to, I believe, end on a note where we take it into the future, where like, what's the future going to look like? So the documentary is going to carry on throughout the rest of the year. I know for a fact that, we're going to be shooting multiple things. Now that we are done with the tournament proper, it's going to be all hands on deck for the documentary.
Sure.
And I still need to get the details, the exact details on this, but I feel like we will be also going to EVO and shooting over there as well. So that might happen.
Let's go.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
I don't know if I'm gonna be there, but I definitely know that Arslan and a crew will be there to be able to document.
Of course. I'm still like that was another thing I spoke into existence or trying to make happen. Me being at Evo, being an official photographer at Evo. So hopefully,
Let's go.
soon.
Hopefully.
That's the thing. So Hidden Boss by BAAZ. That's the company. Is it BAAZ or how do I pronounce the company?
Yes, it's basically called BAAZ.
BAAZ.
Yes, BAAZ. Right.
Uh,
And there's a funny story behind so I'm so sorry I'm cutting you off, but there's actually a funny story that I recently learned about the thing. So BAAZ is basically like the translation in our language for the hawk, right?
Okay.
Or if you would call it the falcon, right? So that's what it is. That's what we call BAAZ over here. We have a lot of hawks going around in the air, and BAAZ is basically like, the brand that we wanted to affiliate ourselves with.
Nice.
So I recently learned why we chose that. So Daniel has not had a lot of history with King of Fighters or Tekken. He has had major history with Super Smash Brothers, and the character that he mained was Captain Falcon. That's
Captain
why.
BAAZ, dude. Let's
So
go.
yeah, That's what he
Love
told
it.
me. So Monday night when we were at that dinner, Sam,
Yeah.
that's when I found out, and I was like, "Oh my god, it makes so much sense. That's amazing."
Crazy.
When you know, you know. That's great.
The whole Takedown 24, it's cancelled, man. It's just a smash show now. Let's do it, boys.
Let's go. I'm down.
And yeah, so I gave him the idea. So I was like, okay, so if you ever need sort of like a sort of slogan, a tagline to go with BAAZ, so you could just go ahead with "Show me your moves."
Yeah. BAAZ punch.
So, let's
There we go.
Let's go. So BAAZ, Hidden Boss documentary about Pakistan, Arslan Ash, and the Pakistani players. When are we expecting a release, roughly? Like, obviously, don't want to give up too much information, but when could we expect this documentary out?
So I believe the release can be expected somewhere towards the end of the third quarter or the beginning of the fourth quarter of this year.
Okay.
So that's what we're shooting for. Yes.
Okay. So expect it around September, October time,
Absolutely.
roughly. Guys, you heard it here first. Hidden Boss by BAAZ, Arslan, Pakistan Tekken scene. Watch out for it because it looks amazing, especially with the production that we saw with Takedown. This is going to be one of those documentaries you're going to want to watch.
Yeah, I think the trailer. The trailer is out on YouTube now, isn't it? Because I think
It
I
is,
saw it on Twitter.
absolutely
Yeah.
We will find it. We will stick it in the
definitely.
show description below.
Yeah, for sure. And the great thing about the trailer is that the documentary itself is that, like we were discussing, all right, like we can create something, we can, option it out to like maybe Netflix or Amazon, and then I was like, we put it on YouTube and we put it for free. That's the way to go about it. And I was like, yeah, definitely that's the way to go.
Do it for the scene, right? Not for the money.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's Daniel's underlying theme from what you told me, SilverFox, is do it for the community, do it because you love it. Don't do it because you're just trying to chase a paycheck, because at the end of the day, people will see it. And yeah, some events survive, but once the money dries up, people will just go somewhere else. And if people love an event, they'll keep coming to it. Like Takedown, sure, they might have to charge ticket entry fees next year. But considering what you guys displayed this year, I was like, oh, you're asking me for, excuse me here, because I don't know what currency exchange is like, but like 20 quid, 30 quid, $30, $40 for entry, like for an event this big, that's nothing. Like, cool, throw that down, book hotel, book my flights, I'll see you.
Yeah, and I'm not entirely sure what the whole business model is going to be going in the future.
Sure.
But making it accessible enough to the core audience that we have, because a lot of these guys, they have difficulties in terms of like paying for amenities, paying for being able to like actually get proper branded sticks, which is why like they piecemeal things together. If we're able to come like with some sort of like nominal pricing for them next year, if that's the plan at all, then that's the way to go.
Yeah. Like, people need to be paid. Running an event in Lahore Expo Center is not cheap. Running any event in any expo center is not cheap. People have bills to pay. It's understandable. So, and the first event, like I said, running this without asking for a single penny was crazy to me. Right. So, what other touristy stuff did you guys do? Because all I saw was the clothes.
Sam, you might want to take this.
I had
the
most amazing time. So we were just told that we were going out for dinner. No, sorry, that's a lie. We were told we were doing like a tour of like an old castle thing. That's basically what I was told, because it's a place called the Walled City in Lahore, right? And as I said, I'm an idiot. I don't know what the Walled City was. So I asked Shahir, and I was like, hey, what's the story with the Walled City? He was like, it's like a big castle thing. It's obviously surrounded by walls. I was like, oh, cool. It could be fun. Like, I'm expecting it to be like super touristy, right? So this is a bit to C4. I was hoping that now C4 is kind of turned off the video right now, but so because one of the sponsors was because the event was sponsored by a transport company, we all got drivers, and so it wasn't like a taxi. Like, we had like drivers, right?
Okay.
And so I think there was 4 cars in total for all the internationals, but I made friends with one of the drivers, right? Sajet. Shout outs to my boy Sajet, man. He is the dude, right? But yeah, so they all pulled up anyway. We were all going on this tour at the same time, right? And you're not allowed to drive cars into the walled city, right?
Makes sense.
So we had to stop just outside to let cops into our car so that we were allowed to drive in. So
Yeah, just do your security checks. That's fine.
But like, we just drove in then, like into the walled city, and like everyone was like looking at the cars and stuff, being like, "Who's in it? Who's in it? Who's in it?" or whatever, like, you know. And then we just stopped and like we got this full guided tour. Like it was so cool, man. Like the palace was built for the same woman who the dude built the Taj Mahal for.
Yes.
Really?
She has 2 palaces, bro.
She's balling.
That's it, man.
That's goals. That's goals for most women. Like Taj Mahal, the walled city. Let's go.
Yeah, man. She just be getting stuff, like. But yeah, I mean, it was genuine. It was awesome just to see that kind of part of history. And you know what's a really cool thing? There was no lights, like very few kind of floodlights just in the area. So like we went kind of in the evening time.
Sure.
So it started to get dark, but when it gets dark in the middle of this like castle courtyard, it's like black, like it's nighttime dark. Like so, like they were trying to like kind of hurry us on a little bit so that we could get the whole tour done with sunlight and that. But like it was wild. But then they put us in the back of tuk-tuks. We started like racing each other in these like things, and then we went out to this restaurant where we got to eat some like traditional food. Oh, Drift, there's this mad stuff that goes on, right? Yeah. So we're like outside, rooftop of this place, and like all balconies all around, right? And I started saying like, shit, it feels like it's raining. Like, I didn't imagine that it was going to rain, because that kind of changes our whole dinner plan, because we're at this outside area. No, they just have like a sprinkler system to cool people down. Like it's sprinklers for people.
I think I've seen that before. Like I've watched a few like travel shows, and I've seen like the sprinkler system where it's sort of like a mister. It sprays on. And that is amazing technology, especially because of how it works. Like you think it's just like mist water spraying at you, but at the same time it's like you've got to pump that, make sure it's cool enough so it doesn't evaporate in the pipes, especially in, I assume, 30 to 40 degrees Celsius weather.
Yes.
SilverFox, in Pakistan, and at the height of summer that's gonna cook, right? So innovation, technology, good lord. The walled city sounds amazing. I'm gonna have to Google some pictures because it sounds pretty damn epic.
It was beautiful,
and if it was made by the same guy as the Taj Mahal, who designed the Taj Mahal, was it designed by the same guy?
I don't know, but it was made for the same woman. That's the same woman. Okay. I was like, damn, man. But genuinely.
So there's like a couple of parts to the walled city. The areas that Sam and the group went to, it was called the Lahore Fort, which is huge. It's supposed to be like this big fortress, which in which they were like garrisoned, and like they stayed. It was like he said, it's a palace. It's a huge deal, right? And they have like these different areas, these different courtyards where like people would go when they wanted to relax, when they wanted to chill, when they wanted to deal with like the affairs of the state, or like just wanted to be able to get the common folk to talk and bring up their issues and just to relax and like have a chilling night. And then right opposite the fort is like a huge mosque, which is called the Badshahi Masjid, which basically translates to the kingly mosque, right? So the Badshahi Mosque is like one of our famous landmarks from back in the day, way back in the day. This was before like colonial times, and that's the major monument that we have still hanging out today. Nice. And then off in the distance, we have another monument that was made around the time of our independence, which is called the Minar-e Pakistan. It's like this big white sort of like Washington Monument kind of building, right? That reaches up into the air. So I don't know if Sam went there or not, but that's like a monument that was around the time of independence, which was around the 1940s. So it was around that time that that place was there. The part that Sam really mentioned, the being in the tuk-tuks and racing each other, that was like really incredible, because there's a bridge that sort of surrounds that area. These guys were like on rickshaws, open backed, right? And they're just racing each other, and then one guy on one side, I believe there's like AK, and the other side there's like I believe it's CBM, and they're both high-fiving each other. No, there's Infinax, and they're high-fiving each other and on the middle of the road.
It was wild, like, because we were driving in them, and like as soon as like we saw them, we were like, this is about to be deadly, right? Because we were still in the walled city. It was basically like pedestrianized roads, like, there wasn't like cars or whatever.
No,
cobbled roads.
We were like just coming to this big gate, and I think AK was beside me, and he just looked out and goes, oh shit. And like I turned, and there's just like trucks and shit coming from this way, and the dude, no problem, just pulls out, like, so like if you look behind us, there's just like traffic like building up. People are going insane on the horns and shit, like trying to pass us. There's one lane of traffic just free for everyone to like pass. Like,
jeez,
it was so crazy, man.
And I think there was this one thing with CBM as well. I mean, like, I think I wasn't there to be able to see it, but from what I've heard is that, like, they were like in the car, and the car was like speeding super fast. Sam, go for it. Go for it.
we were like coming out, right? So there's this whole thing about like crossing the road in Pakistan is like, if you haven't seen it, you think like somebody is like out to like prank you or something. Like it looked wild, right? But like we were coming to turn into, there was a turn anyway, and there was a woman just like she was as close as I am to the webcam, like that close, like less than a foot away from this, like, and we were doing 50 miles an hour, like it wasn't. Yeah.
Right.
And CBM was right beside me, and everyone, you kind of just like you get a lot of like, the drivers in Pakistan are the best in the world. It's like a John Wick movie or something, like, man.
They're
people
weaving around.
are just like all over the place.
It's fluid.
So you just kind of, you're just like, I trust in the driver. Like, if we get in an accident, I'm innocent here. Like, so
take the wheel, like, see you later, do your thing.
Take the wheel, yeah.
This woman was so close, and CBM was on this side. So it was me, AK was there, then me, and then was it? It was CBM. He was there. Like, he obviously got a fright or something. But he just goes, "What are you doing? Get off the road!" Like,
he just
full screams at this one, and she was like, "What are you talking about?" Like, 'cause
just walking here.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was so funny. Oh my god.
Yeah, I heard that in passing, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's gotta be hilarious!" I should have been there to witness that.
It was
menace.
so funny.
You guys are
menaces.
menaces.
It was so funny. I'm gonna have to edit that video because I took a load of videos just from the tuk-tuk. Like, I'm gonna have to edit them and put them up on Twitter or something.
Yes, please.
It was wild.
Oh man, that sounds amazing. So, events, amazing.
God,
that's my edit right there. So you guys did the travel, you got there safely, the event was amazing. You're going to have a debrief this week with Daniel, SilverFox. That's amazing. We've got the documentary coming up, Final Boss, September, October time. Can't wait to see that. Going to check out the trailer as well. That'll be in the description below. Mm-hmm. You guys saw the walled city, went clothes shopping. Everyone was dripped out, the walled city and tuk-tuks. Sam will hopefully edit some videos and post them on Twitter because it sounds like a blast.
So
and fluid driving. Everyone's Colin McRae. It's amazing. So Fox, what's your next event? Where can people find you next?
Well, right now I don't really have any events on the horizon for myself. One of my commentators, my co-commentator, actually is he's gonna be making an appearance at Emirates Showdown, which is gonna happen on June 2nd to June 4th. That is next month.
Yes.
And right now he's working the entire like visa and ticket process right now, but he is gonna be making an appearance over there, so you'll definitely be able to catch him. Me, maybe later down the year, towards September, October, we're going to have another event over here, which is going to be part of the Tekken World Tour called Takra Cup.
Yes,
now, that one, Yes.
I've heard of Taco Cup, and
Yeah, so
it
that
looked
is
amazing.
that is the event that sort of Spag helmed
Yes.
from back in 2019. It's from what I understand that it is coming back, and I'm not entirely sure about the entire logistics of it. Like entire the scale of it, but from what I understand is that it's sort of like a return to the roots kind of thing.
Sure.
And that's basically where you'll be able to find me next. Next show is going to be in October. Other than that, we have a couple of tournaments happening here and there. There's one happening this weekend in Pakistan called the Elite Tekken Championship. And I understand that there's going to be a lot of the players that you saw at Takedown taking part in that. Now, that's going to happen in the city. I don't know what my engagements are going to be. Khan of Fate has actually contacted me. So I'll have to see how my schedule sort of looks like around that time.
Sure.
Because he's the one who's going to be part of the organizing of that event.
Okay. So possibly this week.
Yeah, we
Sorry,
should probably as well. Like I'm sure a lot of people who are watching this are going to be asking about the situation in Pakistan. So just I don't want to go into it too deep, but it was a little bit worrying. Nothing happened to any of the international guys with the political side of it. It was the last day as I was flying out. I started to hear that there was a couple of roads been blocked off and stuff by protesters due to the arrest or kidnapping of ex-Prime Minister Imran Khan. How is the situation now? From what I've heard and from the contacts I made and stuff, it seems like everything is kind of settled down a little, like the city is kind of almost returned to normal. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, you're absolutely correct. So ever since that situation happened, Imran Khan has been released on, from what I understand, it's a bail. He's been made for like 2 weeks. So the political side of this is something that is better left to people who excel in that. But from what I know for sure is that like for 4 to 5 days, cellular data in Pakistan was completely shut off, and channels like Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook were facing outages. Now that was a personal problem for me because I had to YouTube and Twitter are the 2 apps that I use the most on my phone, and those 2 apps went down, and I was like, okay, what do I do with this thing now? But but we like the Pakistani community always does is that even with the sort of limitations that we have, we still soldier on, we still power through. The Gerald documentary highlighted that, and that's how we actually are. Is that we got VPNs, we managed to share resources amongst ourselves. We got together and sort of worked it out. From what I know right now is that the situation has gotten a lot better in the past couple of days. I remember that on I believe it was either Wednesday or Thursday. So it was the day that Shahir and Spag and everyone else flew out. So that night, I actually went down one of the main roads where my office was. That area was completely closed, and the roads were blocked with these big ass trucks in the middle. And there were scant few people running around over here and there, and there was police cars just chasing around, in an empty street, trying to grab people who were making some sort of mischief or something like that. So since I had transport, I was able to get out of there, which was a really good thing. It wasn't as bad as a lot of people would sort of see on the news. It was the situation was sort of the thing that went down, which was bad. It was located in other parts of the city and other parts of the country. The part where you were at, Sam, the hotel area, that sort of locale of that side of the city was totally fine, not an issue over there. The only issues that I do know that happened for sure was something that Rip discussed on his stream on his way back to the airport. He faced a couple of roadblocks and one area where there were protesters and the street was on fire, that sort of thing, and they just drove right past it. Yeah. So Rip actually discussed that.
Were they civilian roadblocks or army roadblocks?
Yeah, there were civilian roadblocks. Yeah. So there was some civilian roadblocks armed, the police and military were obviously also mobilized in some effect. So the roadblocks, the drivers were basically told to go into another direction, and then from that road they were told to go in another direction. I believe that was mostly by the police, and there was people out there on the streets, and like to be, it wasn't really as bad, but there was like throngs of people around on the sides, like trying to be able to protest the way that they can, and that was on last Wednesday. Ever since then, things have gotten a lot better because the political situation has improved. The Supreme Court has given a ruling that the arrest that was made was illegal, and he should be released. So that's sort of like helped things down, stabilize quite a bit. And just this afternoon, Twitter and Facebook also came back online, and YouTube's been working first class.
I saw your tweet.
Everything's all good. yeah, absolutely. I had to install like 3 VPNs on my phone, use each one intermittently to be able to see which one works best. So there was that. But it was good to be able to see that like there was a lot of people showing solidarity with the people in Pakistan and with the Pakistani community. I had Perfect Legend message me in, it was like come into my DMs and wish me like, hey man, I hope you guys are doing good. And that was really great to be able to hear from someone who was an Evo champ. And the thing with PL and me was that like I had made a video a couple of months ago where I sort of like took that PL meme of 13-0 and I put that in. He doesn't really appreciate that. So we had a little bit of issues over there in the beginning, but then he'd sort of like blocked me and then unblocked me after a couple of months. So I thought that, like, yeah, we were cool and everything. And then when he messages me out of the blue, I was really appreciative of that fact. And I was like, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. So it was really great to be able to see that, like everyone sort of, show a genuine interest in the people that we had. And it was a really good thing that it happened after the tournament, because had it happened at tournament proper, then, that would have been like, just like the icing on the disaster cake that we had cooked up.
Yeah.
But everyone and your family is safe?
Family is, absolutely. Perfect. Family was safe.
Good.
Yeah. So my wife was basically living at my in-laws. I told her to like stay there for like maybe a day or two more until things get better. I was at my place. I didn't like leave, and my day job actually said that we'll just give you work from home for the rest of the week. No need to come to the office. If you do have internet issues, the office is available. You guys can come in. We'll see, but no obligations. Stay at work. Stay at home. Stay safe. And that was a great thing to be able to have. And now today is Monday, and we're all back to work. Life is back to normal. Streets are filled with people. Life's
like nothing happened.
Gone back. Yeah, kind of like nothing happened.
Awesome. That's crazy to me. Right, I think. Sam, is there anything else before we call it wraps?
No, I think that's it. I'm looking forward to going back. And I can't wait to get you over to Europe, Mr. SilverFox. Let's get you on. Let's get you on the bill for some of these French events or German events or UK shows or whatever.
I mean, you've got a good camera. You've got a good microphone. ICFC's coming back. I mean, there's some Tekken happening, I believe. So
hey, I'd love for that to happen.
I'm not part of that team, but speak it into existence. Speak it into the universe, guys. Let's
absolutely, go. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if Rip's listening to us right now, maybe he can make something happen. It'd be nice to be able to be like that, because I've also really wanted Pakistan to not just be represented on, on the sticks, but also in terms of talent, because we do have talent over here that can really give an accurate sort of understanding of what the region is like, what our players are like. And it's not like we're strangers to what the international community is like. We watch everyone's games, and we love to be able to see what's going on in the world. And to be, a part of these events proper would be an absolute pleasure for all of us, working the gig over here. So yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys, for everything that has happened so far. Thank you for the opportunities, and would love to be able to meet you guys someday in Europe.
Let's go. I mean, I'll come over to Pakistan as well. Sam's been once already. He can show me the sights. He can be
your guide. I'll be your guide.
He'll be my guide.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But SilverFox, it's been a pleasure. I'll try and convince Sam. I don't think Sam needs much convincing, but we'll have you on the episode proper and not on a lock-in where we just talk about an event. We want to learn more about you, because you seem like a very nice guy, and you looked after Sam, you looked after everyone, you showed that Pakistani hospitality. Sam's only said good things. I believe in him. You guys,
Yeah,
you've been awesome.
just doing our part for the community, just doing our part for the community proper. And it's been a real pleasure. Thank you so much, guys. It's it's great to be able to meet you, Drift, and Sam. Like Sam, I've been talking to for a while, and it's been to get to meet him and hang out with him. It was an absolute blast, and I really enjoyed my time. I was so sorry that I wasn't able to say goodbye proper. It was just outside the arcade where I was just waving, okay, bye.
Yeah.
And yeah, next thing I knew, Sam's on a flight home. So yeah, but like we loved having you, man, and we'd love to be able to see you again sometime in the future. Always welcome.
Let's hope. Yeah, but
For sure.
Let's hope so. Cool. So we'll call it there. SilverFox, hopefully we'll catch you in ICFC soon. If not, we'll see you at Takra Cup on the mic. Sam, what's your next event?
oh god, somebody asked me this yesterday. I can't remember.
Man's too busy. Man's too busy.
There's a couple on. I can't. I don't know, man. I don't know.
All good. All good. Right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. This has been the Lock-In episode 2, where we talk about Takedown by BAAZ. See you at the next event. See you guys later.